Live.
Go.
On today's episode of Horror Chronicles, the guys from ReadFive Designs are in the house. Well, on the camera. Hit it!
Well, all right. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
All right, welcome. How you been?
Welcome.
To the show.
Yeah, what's on the agenda?
Well, we just want to ask you a few questions about what you've been up to today and things like that. You know,
Yeah.
just
Your upcoming autobiographies. Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, they are doing a perfect impression of how boring we are. That's great.
Yes. Nailing it. Absolutely nailing it. Hey, welcome to the Horror Chronicles podcast. We have Greg and Johnny of ReadFive Designs on today, our good old buddies, our good old pals. And welcome those who are following us live in the chats. Good to see all of you guys. There's quite a little conversation going up, and that's probably because we started a minute late. They were just discussing, saying salutations to each other.
I'm not even sure why they show up right on time.
It's
their time.
At this point, yeah, it's their own fault. But we are a little earlier than normal, and that's because our boys are across the pond over in the UK, and we want to welcome all the UK folk that stayed up a little late to watch us go
Bonjour.
a little early. So, yeah, bonjour to all you
guys. That's how I get killed.
Josh, we have got one piece of news that we need to discuss.
Well, we all get to discuss
Star Wars news.
The one piece of news, and you fellas can chime in too, is that earlier today, Dave Filoni got a promotion.
Oh,
He got a promotion. He is now on his business card.
How'd you get promoted to above God?
Well, maybe he's just handing out his own promotions at this point. But his official title now is Chief Creative Officer at Lucasfilm. So he's going to have his finger in everything now. Easy.
One way of putting it.
please. And this just in: Dave Filoni arrested.
HR has filed. Has gotten some complaints.
Oh my gosh!
Having too many fingers in too many pies.
How do you feel about that?
Makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I think so. I think
I don't think that's too crazy.
That's what I'm asking is, like, long term. Are we talking Dave Filoni,
My buddy.
like, just runs Lucasfilms and kicks everybody out of his way, or everybody above him out of his way? I already saw a comment down there. I mean, yeah, I've got thoughts.
He's working with Catherine Kennedy, right? That's what I read.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he's above or anything.
No,
like that.
not above.
What working with?
I guess what I'm trying to say is,
if he's given creative control over everything, say, it's good in a way, because there is the danger of having too many cooks. So giving it to one person to be in charge is probably not a bad thing.
and I guess that's my question: is the other cook going to get out of the kitchen, or will Dave be able to do
Like do you see this as like the beginning of a transition?
That's what I'm like implying. I'm trying to build that. I don't know how it builds, but I honestly don't know how the structure works, in that regard.
Yeah.
So I know that there's, the Marvel side of things. That's a huge part of their, one of the fingers of their sister or their company. And then Star Wars, obviously they've invested a ton and they're trying to make that even bigger. Does that mean that, like, if you have creative control, then you get to just put it out and they stamp it for you, unless it's just, I don't know, over the top?
I see him as
kind of fine print in that contract, do we?
Yeah. But I don't know. I see him, and this is not a new idea, but as being the kind of the Kevin Feige version of Star Wars, where he is a part of everything that comes out for continuity's sake. He's kind of the, making sure everything that's supposed to ties together correctly. He's the thin line that connects it all together.
So he has no power. He's just creative.
Oh, I'm sure he has power and influence in that, but I don't see. I mean, I don't see Dave as a guy that is micromanaging. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the issue.
I mean, he's done well to.
Great comment. It's a great comment.
That's a great.
Yeah, it is a good comment.
He has done well to, tie things together that were maybe a little bit disjointed and stuff like that. So, that's not an easy thing to do considering the things that they've done, should I say?
Yeah. I hope that it means that he's the trusted confidant to Kathleen Kennedy, and if there are questions that she just trusts him with it. And
well, I would say like the good news could be that maybe Kathleen Kennedy has never had anyone, not never, but you know what I'm saying, like has not had anyone as close to the concepts, ideas, and heart of Star Wars than Dave Filoni. Instead, she had people that maybe were in front of him that were making decisions which we can all agree or disagree on that weren't in the best interest of like Dave's vision of Star Wars, or maybe even George's vision of Star Wars for marketing.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds about right. That sounds about right to me.
So it is a good thing then that he maybe is the final word, before she makes a decision.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, it's got to.
That's what we're with.
In order for it to clear Kennedy, it has to clear Dave first,
which is, I think, a good thing.
Sure,
I think it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah,
checks and balances, accountability, whatever. Yeah, and it's,
well, no, I'm just saying there's nobody between Dave and Kathleen.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It's the money, it's the marketing, it's the politicalness, whatever they got to do. Like, no, just keep it Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars has always been great with their political stuff. I think no droids allowed, and then an arm gets cut off. Come on now, we're defending it.
Okay, well, that's really the only news that I got to throw out there. I think we can get right to the heart of the issue, and that is
heart of the issue. What's the issue?
The issue.
You're the issue.
Is that across this blue marble we call Earth?
Good golly!
Yeah.
How many ways do we have to say this?
That there are second editions of the ReadFive vintage action figure book hitting front porches all over the place.
Finally.
Like a paper boy, just launching them.
Just launching these, breaking windows.
breaking doors.
Destruction right there, isn't it?
Grandma's dying.
Yeah. Don't catch it on a hop. Don't catch it in the air.
Don't let your dog out while the delivery happens.
Yeah. So, gentlemen, how is it going? How are you guys doing?
Tell us about it.
It's good. Yeah, I mean, we just got to the point where there was a delay in the shipment to the US, but then it wouldn't be us if there wasn't a delay. That's our niche, isn't it? It seems to be, but there you go.
Out of our hands niche, yes.
Yeah, that's right. It always seems to be when it gets to a point where we have no control over it, it goes to pot a bit, but we got there in the end, and people aren't waiting as long as they were waiting for the first time round, so we have progressed and we have learned a bit and we've moved on a bit, but luckily they're getting out to people now, and maybe our email will sort of die down a bit.
Yeah, I've seen on just amongst our collector friends some confirmation emails of some shipments expected to land here pretty soon. I've seen on Facebook, I've already seen a second edition for sale.
Hey,
wow,
that's good news. That's actually good news.
Yeah.
Hang around.
Boost that price up. Let's go.
Well, I was going to say that the first edition seemed to do pretty well on the secondary market. The second edition, the one that I saw that was for sale, went for $400.
Yeah, I'm saying I think any good collectible, the best compliment you can get is scalping. Like, honestly, guys that are like, I bought 3.
It's a backhanded compliment, isn't it? Yeah.
A gold one went for what, 700 the other month on eBay?
Oh, did it? I haven't even checked eBay.
Absolutely insane.
No, like I said,
be patient.
trying to buy
It's-
this book right now. Yeah.
It's probably one of the better compliments that you could get. You know, somebody puts it
Oh
out
yeah,
there,
No, that's
and
what I'm
then
saying.
then the dollar amount attached to it is like,
Well,
that just means people appreciate it,
Yeah.
and they respect the product, I think. And so
it's kind of a reverse promotion, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, anything that like eBay to me, well, not just to me, to like a lot of the collecting world, and some hate it, but like it's really the price dictator, and it's also the value dictator, not just a price, but like this is the value of owning it, you know. And like, oh my gosh, Yak Face is worth $1,000 now. I gotta get one, right? Oh man, I remember when he was 400. Doesn't matter. It's still a crap toy. Not that I'm not saying ReadFive's a crap book. I'm just saying, like, I love the value. Jesus, that didn't go over well.
yeah,
But I think between the first edition shipping and like volume 2 going to print, I kind of like just stopped looking, and it wasn't until we started getting ready to kind of go to print and close the pre-orders of the reprint that I actually went back and was like, oh, I haven't actually searched the book for a while, and was surprised to see what was popping up on the secondary market and reviews I'd missed on YouTube that had come out over the last few months. And it was quite exciting just to kind of, after not really looking at it for a while, to come back into it and just see it was still out there circulating. New videos were still popping up. It was still being shared online, and yeah, it was still popping up on the secondary market for crazy, for me, quite shocking prices. Like $400 for one for me still blows my mind.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see an exponential response, and by that I mean at every Star Wars con, you know, / whatever con it is, but Star Wars is there, all the way down to Star Wars Celebration. As your book is out on people's tables for sale, it's going to start just exponentially growing into the look, let's face it, you guys would be, you know, billionaires right now if everybody in the world knew about your book. But as it grows, you know, as it grows and people see it and they're like, what's that? I want to get that for my dad or my grandpa who loves Star Wars. You know, how do I get that? How do I get that? And then the value will go up. I think that really lends to 3rd edition.
a paperback.
No, I think
The movie rights.
That's the difficult position we're in, because, you know, we don't have that budget to do a big advertising campaign.
Sure.
So all of our sales and everything is all from word of mouth and things like that, and what we do on social media and all that sort of thing.
Small, mediocre podcast.
If we could get everyone on board at once, then we could we could produce a higher number of books and sell them for X amount, which would be beneficial to everyone. But it just doesn't work like that, and it's just me and Greg. So people sort of question it. The cost of the book is a little bit more than what it was, but that's based on things moved on after COVID and stuff like that, and prices moved on, and everything has a knock-on effect. So, we still think you're getting value for money, especially when they're selling on the secondary market more than double what we're selling. You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So let's talk about the time in between getting that first edition out and then until today. What have you guys been up to, and what does it take to get a second edition? Because you've obviously gone through the process of getting the book made, so essentially those roads have been paved already for you to travel through again, unless, and maybe I'm wrong, are you guys still use the same publisher and same shipping avenues and stuff?
Well, we're the publisher, so we still use the same printers and stuff like that, because they know they're set up for it and they know what we're after and everything like that. I mean, there has been a couple of little tweaks that we did to the book, things that people inform us about and other things that we find out and stuff. And if, like we say, if we're always learning this sort of thing, and if we learn something new, we'll always add it to the book if it's going to benefit the book. So as much as you try and get it right first time with a 500 odd page book, there's bound to be something in there that you can add or whatever. So we're always open.
We also ran out of time as well.
Huh?
We also ran out of we didn't run out. We were pushed for time, so there's some bits little bits we wanted to add, but didn't have time to go to print. And now we're kind of going back again. Only little bits here and there, like expanding on the lightsabers, things like that.
Yeah, so you know, if we've been able to add things or improve anything, then we would, you know, because it's just, for me personally, that's the way I like to work. If you can improve something next time round, then do so, you know.
So you saying the second edition is better than the first?
Well, it's
Hasn't got as much of a story.
First edition is always the first edition, you know. You're never going to change.
First edition, yeah, it's got its own story. You know, that's attached to the Kickstarter story. It kind of comes with the history and the story of the book being made, right?
Yeah, it's legendary. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
There's
I mean, believe it or not, the second edition is slightly thinner.
What? You guys just found better paper.
No, it's probably about 5 pages thinner, maybe.
Yeah,
look, I've got both here.
Ever so slightly thinner.
You got rid of all the yak-based pages. I get it.
Pretty much the same.
So
I mean, you can already see a little edition there.
Yeah, one thing I noticed, just holding that up, you've got bookmarks sewn into the spine there, and I think that's a classy look. What?
We thought it's a big book, and you might have various points of references that you want to go back to. So we thought we'll stick some lines in there, and people can bookmark their pages.
Yeah, I like hearing from people who had the first edition, who were saying how it does live on their desk in their collecting room, and they reference it all the time. And now they've got it all filled with paper and bookmarks and stuff. So it kind of made sense to add these to the second edition to make it all one thing. But I do like the idea that people are using it for what we wanted it to be used for, you know, as a reference guide, sat on their desk in their collector's room, you know. And that's nothing against the people that did buy copies and haven't actually looked at it yet, because they're like, I'm never going to open it. Awesome, that's cool as well.
Yeah, it looks like one of your neighbors is joining us.
Yeah, Canby Island, just down the road.
Maybe you guys know each other. I don't know. Maybe you're related or something.
Yeah, probably might pass each other. I mean, saying that, there was a couple of customers from the first time round that were quite close to Greg, and there was some that was close to me. But then that's, I suppose, the law of averages. It's going to happen, maybe. So.
Even for the reprint. So even for the reprint, there's actually quite a lot of orders happening all really close around me as well. Who probably I've never met or know, but surprisingly, loads happening, chopping on doorsteps around here.
Well, I think it's great. I think like I said, I think it's exponential. I think the more exposure you get, I think you guys actually have a long play from a business perspective. I mean, just from getting it out there. There are going to be people that see that in a collector's room now displayed in other ways, which we'll talk about later. But I know that if I had never heard of you guys, let's just say I was the below average collector, I wanted to retouch my love of Star Wars from my childhood, that if I saw that, I think, especially when somebody's like trying to go get the first 12, they're like, well, I'm gonna rekindle this, which they're still out there. We may have done it 6 or 7 years ago, but they're still out there. And then what did we turn to? We turned to there was a Sansweet book. Yeah, Sansweet. We looked for the book, and I know the internet is there, but the internet's still a little frustrating. It's still a little frustrating because
good old Sansweet. Kind of, you can see that on there. The Sansweet quote, the Sansweet quote on the back there. Oh.
Love it.
Wait, what? What does it say? Read it to us.
What's it say?
The most impressive self-published Star Wars book ever made, Steve Sansweet.
And he's made a few,
He's made a couple, hasn't he?
Gus Lopez said, I've seen a lot of Star Wars collecting books, but this one sets a very high bar on content, depth, quality, and design.
I mean, if you wanted,
it's freaking amazing.
If you wanted 2 quotes by Star Wars collectors, you could not get 2 better ones than those 2 guys. Like, that's awesome.
We're waiting for your quote.
I was going to say, I apologize. You had Holochronicles before that, and then.
Well, let me ask this. Okay, so you guys recently went to an Echo event over in the UK.
Yeah.
This is not the first time you've gone as ReadFive Designs, but having the book out and a second edition on the way, how was this experience different than other times that you've been, or other like convention? Like, I don't know, how many have you done any other like conventions or toy fairs or
We
anything?
did, yeah, we did a toy
started
fair last
branching
week.
out into different ones, actually, haven't we? So we
Yeah.
went to one last month, which wasn't just Star Wars. So it was interesting just to see how we fared at that one.
Yeah,
although there
I
was
was
Star Wars
walking.
there.
That was the Sandown Toy Fair, and I was walking around taking a look, and I saw somebody was selling our mini guide on there, and I was like, oh, I wonder if that's a signed one. I picked it up and looked in it, and then the guy was trying to like sell it to me. He's like, oh, it's a really good book, that, mate, really good book. Yeah, it identifies all the card backs. I'm like, oh, right, yeah, that's nice. Yeah, 20 quid, mate, 20 quid for that one. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, we're literally selling them for a £5, 20 feet down there, and that's my name on the front. But I didn't say that. I was just like, no, I'm all right for the minute, mate. Good luck with it.
You said, "Don't you know who I am?"
Yeah, no, I didn't say that.
It looks like a
Charlie, they
photographer
have
shot the
it. They
camera
have
out
it.
of focus.
It's a great book, but all these pictures are just a
suck
little out of
ass.
focus.
Yeah, a little
I
out
mean,
of focus.
These guys
Guy
sound
had a
like
great
chumps.
eye.
Yeah.
So
So,
now that the book's out there, though, are you getting a little recognition, like when you go to an event like that, or at Echo, or like, oh
yeah, I mean, people are
those
very
yeah,
guys,
for sure.
those guys.
Yeah, Echo.
I mean,
we had quite a few people coming up to us, telling them like what the book means to them and stuff, and
yeah.
how excited they were on the journey, and now they have it. And yeah, some people that don't haven't even stopped collecting Star Wars figures, but actually came back and bought the book just because it reminded them of when they used to collect all the figures they had as a kid. So
Yeah.
that's really cool when you hear from people that don't even fully collect the figures, but actually just wanted the book because they've seen it and just really wanted to have it in their collection and look through it themselves.
Well, they
We,
are life size.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I think people who can't necessarily get the figures or the carded stuff, they just like to have the book, so they've got that reference to them, and they can look them up or whatever. But when we went to Echo last, when we went to Echo last, we went to a dinner on the Friday night, which was organised by the guys at Echo, and they had guys from the film. So they had the guy who played Jack Banks, had guy who played Max Rebo. So they did. So you're on a table, and you're on a table with someone who was from the film. So that was cool. Quite nice. But we were sitting.
We were with the Gamorrean.
We was with the Gamorrean guard. So,
that fat pig.
Yeah, all the food, and then left none for us. No, and we were sitting there, and there was a couple next to us, and
brilliant.
Which one's the Gamorrean guard? Hold it back up. I just made you big.
The Gamorrean guard is the one with the blue shirt with his hand on one of the Jabba the Hutt puppeteers.
Boy, he's short.
And there's a rancor
a little short for a Gamorrean guard, aren't you?
So there's the rancor keeper in the middle.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then on
fantastic.
On the left with the glasses, it might be your right, I'm not sure. That's Yak Face there, next to Greg.
All right.
Oh man, I just burned on that guy.
Ula's behind me. So yeah.
Ula, yeah.
Max Rebo in the middle,
right? Yeah.
Gosh,
that's
so cool.
a puppeteer at the front. Yeah.
That is really cool.
But there was a couple on our table, and Greg sort of said to the guy, "Oh, what are you looking to buy tomorrow?" He said, "Oh, well, I want a display. I want this nice display case that I've seen, and also there's a book that I'm after about all the figures and stuff." And I went, he said, "Yeah, it's by some guys called ReadFive or something." And Greg I looked at Greg and laughed, and then Greg went, "Oh yeah, that's us."
Nice.
I didn't even say it. I just did that, and the guy was like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, he'd only paid for the early bird. You wanted to get in and get a book, and the one display case Drew had before they went. So that's why he bought the early bird that morning to go in. And it blew his mind when he was he was put on our table. Yeah.
You guys broker a deal?
No. We just all whack.
No, come pay.
And then there was a guy opposite who was sitting opposite us, who's from Norway. I think, wasn't he? He was sort of trying to explain to his dad why he collects these, Star Wars and everything. His dad couldn't understand, but his dad was a collector of other things. And then he said, "Yeah, I was sort of explaining to my dad,
His
why
dad
I
was
collect
90 years old, by the way. 90 years
That's
old.
right, yeah. And so he got our book, took it to his dad and showed his dad, and his dad looked through the book, and his dad said to him, "Now I understand why you collect." And I thought that was
cool.
quite a nice little story, really.
That'd be the
Yeah.
next quote on the net of on the reprint.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Now I understand.
Yeah.
Every wife. I just had an idea. It might be pretty cool, especially, and I'm thinking cool for you guys, because you guys would have a lot better chance at this than probably Josh and I would. But going to these toy fairs or cons or meeting up, maybe even eventually celebrations at some point, you should have a book where you just get signatures from Star Wars people. And
We have that.
do you have that?
No, we did think about that actually.
Oh, not people. We started getting like customers and people that booked to sign a blank one, didn't we? Yeah, that's what we did.
Yeah, we did get people to sign we had a blank dummy, so there was no it was just the pages with the dust jacket on, and we were getting people just to write comments in the book about what they thought about the book and stuff
that's
like
cool.
that.
That's a cool idea too.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. We have said that before. We should be at these cons getting the actors to sign their figure pages.
Yeah, so we should have got the Rancor Keep to sign his spread or something in the book.
Yeah,
and whoever you meet that's relevant to the book, get them to sign their spread.
Well, is he a British fella?
Yeah,
I think.
that's
Yeah,
he is.
Something tells me he's probably still available. I still could find him.
Not for long.
I overheard them getting in the car that night after the dinner, saying how much they enjoyed it. So they might be back.
We're such a-holes.
Yeah.
I hope he's not watching.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
So we've had good experiences.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
big
think
thing is
experiences,
when people ask you to sign a book or something like that, because we never offer that because we feel a bit weird offering it, and then people will say, will you sign it for us? And it's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's the next thing that you guys might be at for those who might want to pop and say hi?
Well, we're looking into. There's obviously going to be the next Echo, which will be the beginning of next year. But there's also we're looking at maybe London Comic Con and seeing the possibilities of getting to that and attending that one.
All right.
But we're not sure the dates yet. They haven't released dates and stuff for that. So
okay. So nothing in the States.
We'd like to. We just got to
come
get a
to
few
Andy's garage sale.
Yeah.
Come on over.
Holochronicles Con. That's what we want to do.
Holocon.
Yeah. Holocons. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
Holocron.
It's just Holocon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But,
well,
I mean, if it's feasible, then we'd definitely like to do that, and maybe
I think you get a good reception at the right place. Man, how about getting to a celebration, huh? Oof.
It was really cool at the last. We went to the London celebration, and Yubnub Toys were very kind enough to have our book on display on their very busy and awesome stall. And so it was pretty awesome, kind of walking around, and then we'd pass that stall again, and they would be like, "Oh, guys, come in!" And there'll be a group of people who have been looking at the book, and they're like, "Oh, these are the guys that made it." So that was pretty cool at celebration.
Yeah.
Kind of, they had our book on display, all our flyers were there, all our stickers. And we'll just occasionally pop back and just chat to everyone looking at it. Considering how busy their stall was and how packed it was of awesome figures and vehicles and toys and all that, they still actually made the space for our big old book to sit on their stall as well. So I really appreciated them doing that. That was really good.
A lot of space it takes up.
Yeah. And we also got to meet a lot of people that helped us make the book as well at Celebration. So that was really awesome as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to pack a few books with you if you went to a celebration, especially outside of
that'd be a shipping container.
Yeah, that's right. It's the shipping issue there, but it's something we'd look into.
Yeah, and we were hoping the next one would be in America, and we kind of always started making verbal plans with people in America who helped with the book to help set us up getting over to Celebration, but then they announced it and it was Japan, and we were like, I can't get my horse straight in Tokyo.
Let's see. I have a cousin that lives in Tokyo. Not as close as I can get you.
You tell them a load of books going to turn up, and if they can just store them for us.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
I could just imagine. Now, let's talk numbers here for a second. How many of the first edition were sold? About 1,500. Is that about right?
1,700.
1,700. So then
Yeah.
how many books were in the front room this time with the
Oh,
second
man.
edition?
Well, we only got
luckily-
a small batch to us in the UK because the majority of our customers are from the US. So it made sense for us to get everything shipped over there because we haven't got the means to get a lot, shipped that place, and some shipped here and some shipped there because it costs a lot of money to do that. So we've got a fulfillment house in the US now that we can ship to. And they can then distribute for us, so that my kitchen isn't covered with cardboard boxes and cardboard and all that sort of thing. Because that was chaotic, and that was probably the worst part of the whole process was packing the boxes and shipping them out. Because you'd pack up 200 books, ship them out, and you go back to the room, and it's like you haven't made a dent. It just doesn't feel like you was moving on because you were taking 4 books out of a box. They was coming in packs of 4, but then you're putting them in separate boxes, which take up even more room. So it's just it was a nightmare. And we learned a lot through that process. And one of the things we learned is that we don't want to do it again.
No, I think we started that probably a year ago today. Must have been a few days ago. They arrived at your house because I had on my Facebook memories day. A video came up of me filming all the books in your kitchen as we unpacked them for the first time.
Right, yeah.
So that literally must have been a year ago today that I first drove over to your house and saw all the books in your living room, and we started.
It was like a scene at the end of Indiana Jones. That's
yeah.
Happy anniversary. Yeah.
Top.
And after that, we were like, we don't want to be shipping these ourselves again. And plus, we both have full-time jobs.
To do that. We just didn't have the facilities to do that in a realistic time frame, and that was one of the pitfalls that we fell into on the first time round. So you live and you learn, and you realise there's better ways of doing things, provided you've got some money to back that.
Yeah,
we're
still just 2 people.
Can you get them printed in the States and shipped? I mean, would that is your
pretty much what's happening?
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on cost and what you can get them for. We tried to get them printed over here, but it was just cost far too much money, and that has a knock-on effect. So then you got to then charge your customer that much more. And we wanted to try and keep the book within a certain price range, but still deliver the quality.
Yeah. So how many second editions were sold?
I think
maybe we've got about 3,000 or something.
Double the first, yeah.
Excellent.
That's awesome. That's more than I thought.
And there's already another wait. There's already a wait list that's
building up. So, like you say, it's an ongoing thing, and we're learning as we go along, and so hopefully, as things progress, we'll improve as well, and how we can get them out quicker and things like that. But yeah, it's all a learning curve really for us.
So how many would have to be like on a waiting list for you to make another order or maybe make another edition? Like what's is it 1,000? Is it, I mean, what?
I think it probably would be about that. But the trouble with wait lists is you get people on a wait list, but not everyone necessarily converts. So you've got to make sure that you've got over that amount.
Yeah.
In order to hit that target, because you know that not everyone's going to pick it up when time comes. When you say, right, ready to take the
wait list now. Is like, what's the wait list? 50% of the wait list you can count on. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you probably look at something like that. Really. Yeah.
Especially
it's a bit like doing if you're advertising something, when I used to do press ads and things like that, you used to talk about if you've got a 5% return, you're doing good, because of with the amount of ads that are out there. If you're doing somewhere between 3 and 5% return on that, you're doing well. So it just goes to show how many people see it, but how many people actually act on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think our batting average for viewership versus those that bought is maybe a little better than 5%.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But also
Yeah.
our viewers are a little less than 5%.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
not about the quantity, it's about the quality.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
quality over
100%.
quantity for sure.
So let's talk about the second edition specifically here. What for those that haven't heard or paid attention to previous conversations, what is different about the second edition than the first edition?
Well, we sent you some images. I don't know if you got them.
Yes,
You're
Yes,
gonna have
we
to
do.
bring them up. I couldn't get in.
They have a new flyer inside.
Yay!
Well, yeah, there is that.
Give me a second.
Well,
Yeah, I'm pulling them up.
I think it's also worth mentioning when we were at Echo Live, we had the limited edition dust jacket just for Echo, which Johnny did. But what's really cool about it, I'm actually going to take the dust jacket off rather than try and break myself and the book to show you. Is that really cool on the side, that foiling. Look at that.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. Beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Really, really, really cool dust jacket. We
Yep,
were talking
I agree.
about doing this when we were at Celebration. We had the idea of what if for one of the especially Echo, because they've been so good to us and welcoming us. What if we did like a limited edition jacket for next time we're there? And yeah,
That's
Johnny
beautiful.
got straight on it, and then there it was, and really cool with the star field. You can't really see it on it, the stars in the background.
Oh no, we can't see it. Get it a little closer. Let's see. Oh, now I do.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah, there you
Beautiful.
go. The star field. Yeah,
and it's silver.
really
It's
cool.
a silver foil blocking on that
Yeah.
one as well. And there's a logo at the back as well, isn't there?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
logo
with
now
the,
it's got the speeder instead of the X-wing,
Yeah,
right?
drop down a bit. Drop down a bit, Greg.
Whoop, 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 whoop. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And yeah, really
Great.
cool.
I'm
I love
gonna-
that. I love
Now I
that
can go on
silver
eBay and
version.
try and score one of those. Excellent. How you doing over there, buddy?
Yeah.
I had an email issue, boys, so that's why I couldn't get your stuff. Up.
Ah,
My bad.
Oh, okay.
Load of what is it?
A spot of
spot of bother.
I had a
bother.
spot of bother with my email. I like teasing you. You can tease us all you want. We say stupid shit too, but oh wait, that wasn't stupid. I meant.
Well, we just basically went through. We refined a couple of spreads where I just thought that they could have done tidying up and stuff like that. So there were subtle changes to it, like that sort of thing. We also one of the main things that we did is the full size card fronts that are on these spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Initially, we had the first version of that card showing there, but then we had a couple of suggestions from people. It would be nice to see the photograph in its full glory, so without any promotional stickers and things on the front. So we changed all those card fronts to non-offer stickers, obviously apart from Haplu and Lumat, which only came with offers on anyway. So all of those just literally show the bare photograph, so you can actually see the pure card if you like.
Man, you had requests for that?
Yeah. We have requests for lots of things, but
Lots
don't
of
always.
things.
Okay, hold on. I'm just looking. I want you to name your top 3 craziest requests. Top 2.
I don't know.
Jesus.
Are they going to be so specific that the person, if they see this, will know it was them?
There's people been asking for a PDF version of it.
Okay, so that was one of the
Yeah.
They
questions.
don't
We
want
had.
a physical book.
When's there going to be a
But-
digital version?
But I said, the whole point of it was, we wanted it to be a nice book, that's part of its USP, I think, is that it's a traditionally bound book, with traditional finishing and quality finishing and stuff. So it just, for us, it just doesn't make sense to to do a digital version and put that out there.
As soon as you
It
put a
doesn't-
digital version out there, everyone has it for free.
Exactly. Yeah, there's that as
Yeah.
well. So,
And also,
you know.
it doesn't translate as easy to digital either. Like it's not an easy thing to translate digital because of all like the extra pages of all the different folds out and stuff.
Yeah, there's fold outs
And
and
just
things
how
like that
much
as well.
and how much text there is on a page. Like it's yeah, it doesn't translate that easy to digital as well. It would be it'd be a lot of work, but yeah. So we're kind of happy to keep it just as the book is itself for now. We've always had plans at some point of making like, you know, when we have actual time and more funds behind us, to kind of maybe have a website similar to the book in a way, but not the book as a website, but having just a place to go to for resources and having information from that laid out differently. And yeah, maybe we'll look at that a bit further down the line to have like a website more tuned to the book and its layout and the information available on there. But that'll be a big old build.
Yeah, I mean, we did little changes like that. So in first version, the blue snaggle is just up there and it's a reference to it, but we've given it the 4 elevations like the other ones. So, you know, just little subtle changes like that we've done. Other more major changes would be the find the pages now.
Bit on the lightsabers we did, didn't we?
Yeah, there's a bit on the bit with the lightsabers. We found some new information out on that. So we've added all these, which explains all the letters on the hilts and stuff like that.
Wow!
So it gives a bit more explanation to that, and the layout for how the mold might have been has changed as well, which is based on how what we know about the letters and stuff like that. So, you know, people sort of come forward and say, "Oh, I've got a bit more information on that," and we were in contact with the Imperial Gunnery on that, and they allowed us to use those images in the book.
Thank you, Imperial Gunnery.
Yeah,
and that was also really cool. That after the first edition came out, some people maybe that weren't that, you know, as keen to be involved or a bit like, oh, I'll leave you guys to it, were a bit more open to helping us out, and we people get in touch for saying, oh, you talk about this, but I've got it. Here's an image. You know, more people got in touch, and more people reached out. Not necessarily people that, you know, didn't want to help the first time round or be involved, but people, you know, saw what we were actually doing when it came out, and were more happy to help out. You know, yeah, exactly. We're more happy to help out and let us look at their collection a bit more and share their knowledge and share some of their images. So that was a really, really exciting thing to have happen for the reprint.
Yeah, I mean, for example, we did this pack here. We didn't have that in first edition, but we just had no image available. Yeah. But then somebody contacted us saying, "I've got that pack." You know, so actually it was Yubna Toys who sorted us out at Celebration. They had that pack, so that we would just take a shot of it and include it. And there was another pack also that we didn't have, which has been included. So little bits like that we can update. You know, we will.
That's fantastic. I mean, I don't know. I mean, from a page by page update basis, I just hope people appreciate the level of detail. Like, it's not even saying the level of detail doesn't even sound sufficient to what you guys do. It should just be like literally, you know, tweezers in the sand. I mean, that's really it really is. You know, it's amazing to me.
Tweezers in the sand.
That's a Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton song, right?
Tweezers in the sand. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the matrix that we've got for the 2-packs. You know, the Jedi 2-pack in there for the multi-packs. We've added a few more that people have said, "Oh, I've got this one or I've got that one," so we were able to add those to the 2-pack matrix. You know, so.
Isn't it crazy that here we are in 23 and you guys are actually pioneering like another leg of discovering what the heck all this stuff was? Like, it's crazy to me. You figure like, oh, this was back in the 70s, 80s or 80s, really we got this. We know everything about it. And then you're just finding random stuff. I mean, that's so important to collectors.
I think part of it is that you've got different people collecting different things and not really they've never really come together on this level to try and contain everything. You know, it's a bit like when we started, we thought, oh, we do a book on everything, but then you soon realise there's too much to actually put in one book. So hence the volume 1. So it's just the way it is. I think it's so many different facets you can go, so many different avenues that you can go down on whatever area you're collecting in. That it just grows and grows and grows.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and talking about all this time later, when we were at Echo, and we can say this because these are talking about on Facebook, the BBC were there filming a bit for the morning news. But we were lucky enough to be interviewed for, I think, was it a 17-minute documentary they're doing on Star Wars collecting, like an audio documentary.
Yeah, radio show, isn't it?
We were interviewed for that, so hopefully that'll be coming out soon because, it spoke to us quite a while, and that was really
on the BBC.
Yeah, like an audio, like BBC Radio, like a 17-minute documentary.
You're gonna get a super British monotone interview. I love it.
Here we
are with Greg and Johnny from ReadFive. And then you'll be the most animated, and they'll be like, "It looks like these boys know what they're talking about."
They got foreigners working for the BBC now.
Look at how the pages come right off. The pictures leap off the page, and there are 5 different dust covers.
You say that, but they did have to hold the mic to the book as we turned the pages.
Yeah,
you weren't saying it.
Yeah, you weren't flipping the pages enough.
Gerald.
That did happen.
Oh my gosh.
Another thing that's different from the first edition is that the Kickstarter information has all gone, so that's all exclusive to the first edition because that was an element that created the book in the first place. So I think it was important to have it in the first edition, but and just
also add to the story of the first edition.
We have made quite. I mean, we that sort of changed a bit, but we have made a point at the bottom of this page to make sure that we thanked G-Force Racing because we missed him out on
G-Force.
G-Force.
Oh yeah,
he's on
We're
there.
at the bottom of a page.
So there is a thanks to G-Force.
There is. There he is.
There you go.
Oh yeah, G-Force. He's in the room. He's about to comment. Get ready.
He's got a bit.
There's about a 30-second delay. We'll get him.
Yeah, so
He's changing his pants right now.
There we go.
The France. There it is.
There you go.
I love it.
But
Yeah,
there's subtle changes, things like that throughout it, but just things where we can improve stuff or we've been given new information. Then it's that was the problem with the first one. We kept getting told stuff and adding to it, and that's why it grew from a 400 page to a 530 odd page book. So
being told something doesn't always necessarily make it correct. So there's also that factor of having to look into what we've been told as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when it came to variations. Something I said before with variations is that so much opinion gets woven into fact, and you've really got to decipher that. Like you can't just be like, "Oh, is it okay? Perfect." You got to really look into it and see what the general consensus is amongst other people. Because variations. If you put everything in that everyone told you, it would literally the whole book would have been variations.
Okay, so from a personal standpoint, are there 2 different color smocks for Ugnaught, or is one just a degradation of the other? I think that's the $1 million question, guys.
I might have to refer to the
check the book, Charlie. Check the book. What does the book say?
Is there a purple smock and a blue smock Ugnaught, or is it just Josh? I mean,
I can't weigh in on this. It's too personal.
It's too hot. It's too
hot. The thing is, it's like the paint. Is the paint degradation, or did they paint them 30 different colors of legs? I find it hard to believe that they would have all those different shades of color, but it could happen, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the materials, so there was no cohesion between the factories. So there was the Smile, Cada, etc. factories, and there was no cohesion in terms of a structure in what they would follow in order to produce these figures. So they were probably told, yeah, this needs an apron on it, and it's got to be this sort of color. So one factory would source their material from here, and another factory would source it from there. So that, you know, that's how some variations would come about.
And even like, just if you got a photograph of something to go off of, if the lighting's a little different, you get the different color, you know. So
exactly. So, you know, there's a lot of different what we call I'm trying to think what the word is now. I can't think of the word, but there's a lot of different aspects that could make that, you know, change that choice from one place to another. Variables, should I say? Yeah, there's different variables that could affect that. You can make me small now. I don't have to be big now.
Oh shit! All right.
I mean,
oh wait, you're big. Sorry, big guy. Yeah. You were talking a lot. You were talking. I was just letting you go, man.
Well, what I'm looking forward to seeing is more comments in the Facebook collector groups, more comments on Twitter X and Instagram about just people getting the books and being excited about it. Those that weren't able to get the first wave, now that they're landing in and getting in on the second wave, that they now feel a part of something a little bit bigger that I think will only continue to grow. That said, is there any sort of preliminary timeline for book 2, volume 2, not another edition, but the new book, the next book in the trilogy?
Oh, surprise, guys, it's ready. No, it's not.
The short
volume 2. I mean, we're looking around 2025 for that. I think, you know, we're trying to be a bit more realistic about it. When we did the first book, me and Greg sort of worked it pretty much full time, but now we actually are working as well full time. So it's something that we're doing. You know, we're juggling things at the moment, but it's just about finding that balance and stuff. But we definitely, you know, it will happen, and we want it to happen sooner rather than later. But it's just sometimes other things get in the way. But you know, we will make sure it gets done. I mean, we have done a lot of work towards it already, and we have sort of fleshed out the book in terms of how it's going to flow and what the contents is going to be. Part of the bigger job for it, if you like, is collating stuff for it, which, you know, I know you guys can help us out, you know, down the line and things like that. But we haven't quite got to the stage where we're ready to sort of call on people to you know, accumulate this stuff to actually put into the book. We really want to get the whole structure in place so we know exactly what we're asking for and what we need, and then if there are additions to add to it, then we can all do that down the line. But it's just a case of getting the core book done and then seeing where we go from there.
We do get asked a lot about book 2. Sometimes we get emails that come through that read like my boss is emailing me asking where we are with book 2.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I'm almost like, oh my god, where are we with book 2? And then I'm like, oh, what am I going to tell this guy? I haven't. And I'm like, oh no, wait, you know, we're working.
Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well. Everything's going good with the company right now, but we'd like to know where you're at on Project B.
Some people get, and not to complain. Some people do get. They're very passionate about it. They really want it, and some people can be a bit short when it comes to why Volume 2 isn't ready yet. But I always have to remind people that it literally took us 2 to 3 years to make Volume 1.
Sure.
You know, like, that was us working on it full time during the lockdown. You know, this time around we're doing it, with, you know, we're not in lockdown anymore. We have we're busy and we have our full time jobs, but it is still the biggest priority, and we're still working on it, looking for it. And I can't wait to get stuck into the photography for Volume 2 either.
Awesome.
I'm itching to get going on that.
Well, boys,
yeah, but obviously just meeting people, getting the people involved that we need to, the experts again, to share their collections and like point us in the right direction, the information we need. So all that's happening at the moment.
like I said, I think
and do some photography on site in different locations, maybe. Different parts of the world, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh yes, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. I was able to grab some images. If you want to step through them real quick, and then I think we got a cool presentation, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. You guys want to walk us through these, and then we'll get moving.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Hello.
Found them.
Yeah, so I was just going to say that, some of the subtle changes that we've done is just from a personal design point of view, where we sort of tidied up these spreads. So if you compared them to the previous version, you'll just see how we've sort of tidied up the columns and stuff like that. So I was just sort of pointing out the subtleties in some of the differences that are there.
So what
So
are you
it's not
talking about?
necessarily new information, but it's just the way in which we've displayed it is slightly different.
I like that you've got your own figures. It's great.
Yeah.
I wish they were real.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, I'd collect them.
And then tell us about this.
Again, we just new things that were pointed out to us, and one that we sort of missed was that in the bottom right hand corner there was the fact that they did change the logo from earlier versions and later versions and stuff like that. So the Kenner logo does change from certain cards to another.
I'm pretty sure that the data on this page alone is more work than I did in my entire high school career. But yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then this guy.
And that again, it was just, if you compare this to the previous one, you'll see there's a load of offers dotted around on these card fronts, whereas now we've got rid of all those offers.
That's the clean offer free.
Nice, cleaner spread, because we talk about the offers later on. So it's nice to show the cards in their purest form.
All right.
Yeah.
Pure card.
There we are.
Again, this is just pointing out the snaggletooth, whereby the old one, it just had the blue snaggletooth up there, but now we're showing it in all the elevations. So we've given that as much of a spotlight as the red version.
Did I reshoot that for the reprint, or did we already have those? I think we already had them, didn't we? I'd already shot
Yeah, I think we had them, but we didn't use them. So we just thought, well, we can chuck those in there. And then this was Woody, who's on our Twitter. He sort of pointed out that he had a version of IG88 with yellow eyes, but we since found out it's a paint degradation. But we just thought, it's nice to have that, even though it's not quite right, it'll hopefully educate people in that they haven't got necessarily a different version. It's just where that particular pigment in that paint turns to yellow over time. So.
And we do have disclaimers. We do have disclaimers about that in the variations. We do cover.
Yeah, we need a disclaimer. There's one thing we've learned
before your comments blow up. Coming out.
Yeah,
it's funny.
Yeah, you got to cover yourself.
Andy,
there are a few questions here in the chat that I wanted to make sure we threw out there. Gary has a good one. He asked, is there an update on library copies? This is kind of a fascinating topic for old Gary. What's the word on that? Anybody reach out, or does your publisher, have access to maybe distributing a book here and there in maybe the libraries that are nearest to your hometowns? Or
Well, I mean, we're in
by law,
right?
if you published a book in the UK, you have to supply a copy to the British Library, the Welsh Library, and the Scottish Library, and we also had to supply them to the Oxford and Cambridge University libraries. So we had to distribute 5 books at our expense, mind you, and
of course,
they have to be donated.
Well, it's a legal requirement, but only if they ask you request them. So not every book gets asked. So it was quite it was pretty amazing to know that we were asked, and now we're in the Oxford and Cambridge University libraries. That's pretty insane.
Yeah,
I'd go to that
British
class.
Library, the Scott. We were asked for a lot more than we expected, didn't we? We had quite a big list we had to send them to, didn't we?
Yeah, it was the 5. So I haven't been to the British Library yet to see if it's there or if it's in a cupboard somewhere. So we'll find out maybe one day.
Are there no libraries in Ireland? Why is there not an Irish library with a ReadFive book in it?
Did it go to Ireland? It might
In
have.
fact, I've got the letter here from the British
just
Library.
keep it. Oh, there you go.
I'm just seeing what it says. I think they
frame
just
We're
accepted-
sending your
they
book
just give
back.
us a receipt.
Yeah, too
Say
heavy.
that they've received
We disagree with the variations on page 245.
it. Yeah.
Bullshit on IG88's eyes.
The
Yeah.
purple smock is
Degradation. What are you talking about? Take this back.
Yeah,
Well,
so
then-
the necessary libraries do have a copy of the book.
What about the Smithsonian in the United States?
Oh, they haven't requested
Do I need,
one, so
do I need to make a call? Okay.
Mm, yeah.
All right.
Of course,
I'll
yeah.
make a call. I'll make a call.
Joe,
just let us know.
Andy,
Yeah, Mr. Smithsonian. It's Andy over here.
Mr. Smithsonian.
It's Andy Hollow Chronicles here. Got a request. Got a request. I'm friends with Dave Filoni. And
You think they'd turn around and go, "Oh, Dave's friend"?
Oh,
oh,
let me
Yeah.
patch you through.
yeah. All right. Next question, and we kind of touched on it earlier. It's from G-Force.
Yeah.
What's the likelihood of a digital copy?
Zero.
Highly unlikely.
Yeah,
Highly
highly
unlikely.
unlikely.
I like that.
Okay.
No, in fact, no, it's unlikely.
The reason I
I
like
mean-
that
I
is
mean-
'cause
I mean-
I just spent the last
we-
3 months scanning the book, so I get the profits.
Yeah.
You, well, it
we
is a
we
pretty
did
visceral-
talk a long time ago. Whether it's something we'll visit again later in the future, I'm not sure. It's definitely not on the list of priorities right now. But we did talk about taking certain chapters and doing like a mini, almost like a mini version to take out toy hunting with you, didn't we? We talked about taking variations
we
and the
sort of did
weapons
that
bit,
with the hardback,
and
didn't we?
maybe doing like a smaller version that you could take out and about with you. Because obviously, if you're out toy hunting and you want to look something up, this isn't really that great to have in your bag.
Well, you know,
So that might be something we visit later on down the line.
so you're talking about taking the entire book and then maybe each
No,
chapter its
no.
own little
No,
pocket
not the
volume.
not the entire book, mate, but
Talking about making
something
an
like
app.
Sections.
something like the variations and the weapons maybe, and making that
And the
somehow.
coin section, the coin
And the coin
section could
section.
maybe.
Have like a
Yeah.
little like a little okay. All right. I'm down with that idea. Like you've got your own like your own little Lord of the Rings books, but they're the ReadFive
Yeah.
books, you know.
And you can take the toy fairs with you and stuff. You know, if you're looking
Yeah.
something up on the spot, you can
The
take
main
it.
volume's Similarian, and they're just pulling out. I never say it right. I don't care. I just know it exists. Similarian. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's British.
All right. Next question comes from your neighbor. He asked, "Do you think a major bookstore like Waterstones would pick the book up, or
We have looked at that, and it's not really, because of the size of us and stuff like that. It's not really a feasible option for us to go down that route because of yes, right. I think the stage we're at, it's just not feasible at the moment. But it has been talked about, and we have been in contact with the distributors of Waterstones, but it just didn't work out for us at this time.
okay?"
Yeah.
And
And
then
there's a few
there's,
more to talk to, so we'll see.
yeah, and Josh, why don't you call some of your publisher friends?
Yeah,
Maybe we can get something. Maybe that we could have them in Targets.
that rag went out of business.
Okay. But then the second part says, "Have you thought about other toy lines?" And I know you guys have a couple more. You're not finished with your Star Wars stuff yet, but have you? Is there any interest, or maybe down the road at part of the 20-year plan?
Part of the trouble with that is that for it seems to us anyway that Star Wars is the pinnacle, and then everything else is. I'm not saying
a
it's
toy.
second best or anything like that, but just in terms of global collecting, it seems to be that Star Wars is the biggest, and it's the biggest draw, if you like.
You're saying G.I. Joe didn't go over well in other
Well,
countries and even America?
I'm sure I just don't know whether it would be viable for us to go down that route if we're going to have the same response as we do with the Star Wars.
Yeah.
Plus, we have a big checklist of Star Wars stuff. A lot of these are just ideas.
How
Big
many
checklist
different
of
things
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars
you
do
know,
you do?
We're not even done with Kenny yet. We haven't. There's still Palatoy. There's so many different things you can still do in the Star Wars collecting world before you know, Johnny's always admitted to being a bit of a completist with his collecting, so he's definitely going to want to achieve that with the Star Wars books.
I think
Well-
you know we need to have that passion for that subject as well. You know, so
True, yeah.
Sure, you need
if
to
it's
like what
things
you're
that we don't necessarily collect, then we're not going to have the same passion for it that we are.
So there's not going to be a Hot Toys, Star Wars Hot Toys.
Why?
I think Hot Toys is a bit too new at the moment. You know, and also it's still happening, isn't it? You know, it's still. That's why I wouldn't
Still
sort of
going.
look at say TVC or something like that, because they're still bringing that stuff out. It's not
Yeah,
a finite collection.
yeah, that's true. This is a finite collection. You know what's? It's not gonna. I'm not gonna be surprised at all when at some point down the road somebody does a Transformer book or a He-Man book and says, you know, I got the ReadFive book and it really inspired me to do this
Yeah.
with what
Yeah.
I love, and it's
Mm.
GI Joe, or it's, you know, it's
Yeah,
shoot, even
if we
even
can-
like Pokemon cards or something like that, like an exhaust.
yeah.
Like
If we
that's,
can
I'm
be a
not going to be
template
surprised at
for
all when
someone
that
to do
happens.
then you know, then that's I think that's only a compliment for us if we end up being a template for other people to
Don't
do
be a
that sort of
template.
thing.
Be the parent, and then let them.
Okay.
ReadFive Designs presents He-Man. ReadFive Designs presents.
I don't know if I want all the
Let
stress.
those
To be
bastards
honest.
do all the work.
Yeah.
You
I'm
just
getting
take a
too
cut.
old for all the stress.
You take a cut.
My
No, you
beard
let them
was
do all the work.
black.
You just take the cut. Just make the umbrella.
My beard was black when I started.
Oh, so was mine when I met this guy.
All
I
right.
always
One,
thought you meant the wrong way.
here's one more from Gary, and I like it here. Anyone reported a card back that hasn't been featured in the first book and applied their sticker yet?
No, but we
Okay.
did have a guy that I think it was on Twitter or somewhere like that, and he just said, "Yeah, I've got my book. It's great, and I've even put all the stickers in already." And I replied saying, "Why have you put all the stickers in?" He said, "Because I thought I was supposed to," and it was like,
He's just stickering it up.
I just left it there. I didn't have the heart to say
Oh my gosh.
explain it all and everything. So,
I love stickers.
so they
Yeah,
can
just
keep
fly
the
them like
sticker out.
done.
Yeah.
You thought it was
There
a part of
was-
the game.
Somebody did in one of their videos say about one of the something
Oh,
about the
no.
Farm Boy Luke.
I know who
Who
that was. That was
the other Woody, right? He's the
Mike. Usual Mike. Usual Mike
Yeah.
did his review of the book, which was very good, by the way. But
Yes.
I think he obviously just jumped into it and hadn't necessarily read certain parts because he had a Dengar, I think, and it had a coin
yeah.
offer on it. But the coin offers were random; they were just randomly
Yeah.
stuck on existing stock and stuff like that. So it wasn't specific to a card front. And he couldn't understand why he couldn't see his Dengar with the coin offer on the Dengar page. But
Interesting.
if you read about that earlier, then you'll understand why.
Yeah, tell Mike to read.
That's right, Salacious Rom. You're in the British Library.
I know. I love that comment. So are we. We're at Oxford.
You're there.
I wonder if we can get honorary, like we could speak at their next graduation.
Honorary degree.
Honorary. We'd have to wear the whole Hogwarts get up. Hogwarts.
Someone's doing a degree on podcasts and stuff. Yeah,
Oh my
never
God.
know.
Oh man.
All right. William asks this question. If you wanted an Echo Live version, are there dust jackets available, or is that just an exclusive?
Should have gone.
We need to sort of keep that exclusive to Echo.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Otherwise, otherwise it's not exclusive, is it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Should have gone.
So, yeah.
So if I know we probably should wrap it up here because it's pretty late for you guys, but where if they still have not gotten first or second editions and they wanted to get their name, on the list, what where can they do that at?
If they go to our website, there is still a. I need to remind myself of the page.
The website, redfive.co.uk, and then click on.
Yeah, no,
go
go to redfive.co.uk, but there's obviously a
scroll down the
specific
book,
page.
and then it says click here. Yeah.
If you click on the book.
Yeah, I've got a ticker
Yeah.
down below.
Gives you the option there to join the wait list. And the information we ask you for is just, what is it, name or country of origin, pretty much. Just so we know, just so we get an idea of where the interest is. Yeah.
And the country of residence, because that's significant to us as well. Then you'll get added onto the wait list. But I mean, once we've done this fulfillment, we might have a few books left over, so we'll see about getting those on the site, and people can order them off the website with what we have left. We obviously have a little bit of contingency because things get damaged or things go wrong, things get lost. So if we have got overs, then we'll offer them on the website later on.
Oh yes.
All right, we'll leave that up there now. Earlier last week,
you got a surprise.
We got a surprise.
Got a
surprise, and I was so excited about it. I couldn't even wait for Josh.
No, he didn't. He just cheated on me that night.
But
night,
he was going to give me yours for Christmas.
That night, I didn't answer one text, and it was like,
okay,
sorry, I guess we're divorced.
Grabbed
Shabby by the.
But here's the deal.
Here's
the deal. Josh got his, super excited when he got it, and he's doing something different with it than what I'm doing with mine. So I think this would be a great opportunity to do our ReadFive Design sponsor.
You got that?
Instead of doing a toy review.
Yeah, it's the same. Go ahead. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Usually we do this.
Yeah.
What a lovely picture of Chewbacca.
I know, right?
What a lovely picture of Chewbacca. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of CollectorDisplaysUK.com's exclusive cases for the ReadFive Designs Kenner action figure book, brought to you by Greg and Johnny of ReadFive Designs.
Thanks, Greg and Johnny.
This can be mounted on a wall.
Mounted.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Or you can put the kickstand down and display it on the table.
Table.
These come in four different colors, depending on which version of the book that you got.
What a way to display.
I love the Emperor looking at it. Awesome.
I'm telling you, boys. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Like that took, here, I'll back it out real quick. That took top billing on my autograph wall. It moved Leia and Chewie over. Wow. That was hard. That was hard for you guys to pull off. So
they look shocked as well.
They do. They do. They look absolutely. Chewie is just so shocked that he's crossed the line. And I gotta be honest, Emperor Palp, he looks pissed.
Yeah,
he's not happy about his move.
He's
left.
Like, I have to share the wall.
That's unfortunate.
At least it's the Sith version. It's all right.
Well, I mean, and when Josh told me that he's like, I'm gonna make a centerpiece on my autograph wall, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And then he's like, well, because it is autographed. It's autographed by Star Wars people.
Yeah, legit in the club at cons. I mean, come on. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. I'm obviously, and to Drew at collectordisplays.uk, right? That's freaking, like, this is really, really cool. I mean,
It is really cool.
and it's so cool to see your guys' name like on the it's on the
frame.
display, for gosh
Yeah.
sakes. I mean, that's amazing. So yeah, the hate.
I mean, and Drew makes a quality item, doesn't he? You know, so we were happy to sort of
He
combine
does.
with him and get them done. And now, and every book that's gone out and now sort of advertises the display cases, and hopefully people will start picking up those.
Well, he just does
Yeah.
a fantastic job of kind of like I don't want to call it simple, but that's what it is. It's so easy to put together, you know.
Yeah.
User friendly, very user
friendly. Yeah,
That's exactly
Yeah.
right. That's exactly right.
And what you don't see here, because this is hanging on the wall, and I know Andy did a show a week ago or so, but it has a little kickstand too, so you can have a table display if you want with a little bit of angle. The one thing I would say, the fear that Andy and I shared was, given the girth of this book, we were a little worried about potential. Yeah, are they seeing the wire? I know. That's a look. We don't need to point it out. Move. No one cares.
Nobody knows he's there.
Oh, someone's asked him to push the wire down.
He's like the
No, I'm going to put it up now. I'm going to put it up because
Mandalorian.
I did not think it would come through on the camera, but F you, Brett, on that, because that's exactly how I feel. So actually, I've already thought about like my recommendation. Oh, now you broke it. You broke it. My recommendation would be I was going to go on Amazon and look for a 90-degree for that particular type of plug. And then I would just kind of recommend to Drew, like, hey, just throw this 90-degree in. It's like 50 cents on Amazon or $1.50, whatever. Just because I get you that, but that's okay. This is yeah. Anyway, gosh darn it. These guys don't miss a thing. No.
Now we feel your pain, Greg and Johnny.
I know.
Now we feel your pain.
I know.
Right?
I'm sending an email.
Yeah.
strongly worded email about the exposure of a wire. But yeah, and then I also did a little something because we were, like I said, afraid of the weight of the book. So I actually repurposed the kickstand, and I put it back on the lower part of it to kind of kick it, so it's kicked out a little bit from the wall. The book leans back just enough where I'm still worried. I've actually got some nice stuff below it, and so this thing it'd be like a bomb if it fell out. But I'm gonna be okay. I don't know any other way to. Obviously, I don't want to attach anything to the cover or the book in any way.
Because you've got a history of damaging books, haven't you?
I do know. I have a history of leaving books upright. And like we just walked away from our pod.
That was a great read. I'll leave that right there.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It was open though. It was a little open. Not the best thing for a book.
It was open for the dog to read.
Yeah.
And
you know, and I also have trains that go by about, what would you say, a half a mile away, and they rumble my hill. And I think some sonic vibrations took that one out. So yeah.
Funnily enough, I've got the blue version at home, and I thought, I'll put the prototype book in there. So the thick one that we first had.
Oh
my God. The first proof.
And it doesn't fit. It
couldn't have fit on the ledge.
Too fat for the book.
It doesn't fit.
The thing isn't deep enough because you can't get the cover off.
Which is crazy.
Yeah. Well, and the cool thing is, it's like not all, I don't assume all, but like most of the collector displays, it's got that cool magnetic front. So it's really easy to, there's no, like, you're not screwing things on or off, which is fine. It might be better for this to lock it in there, but and I did see somebody, I hope you hit a stud. No kidding. I use mollies. I got some big old fat mollies in there. But yeah, I'm super stoked. It's a great way to display your guys' amazing work. And
oh man, we're stoked by it. And to think, like when we launched the Kickstarter, it was around the sort of time Drew kind of started collector displays. So we were kind of doing our first Facebook and Instagram posts around the same sort of time, you know, and just building up over that time. And now we're at a point where he's now made a case for our book. It's just a pretty awesome full circle moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's pretty awesome.
Growing up right before our eyes.
Yeah, especially seeing. at Echo, the last Echo, we had the blue one on the table with us, and it was just amazing seeing people come over, look at the book, and then see the case, and then you look up, and Drew's stall was a few rows behind us. You can see it just behind us, and then they head straight over there. And his cases are incredible. They really are amazing.
They really are. I think, like I said, they're simple but like elegant. I guess they're just like the display behind me. That's my favorite piece. If I had to like liquidate everything, that piece would stay, obviously, because of the
just looks awesome. They look awesome.
It's just amazing.
So good. Which is why we put the reprint. We put in. Obviously, we were so amazed that he made those cases that we did do the flyer to go in the reprint.
Oh, amazing! Yeah.
So, and obviously, being us, it's a nice thick card advertising. Keep it in your book. Don't throw it away. Keep it in there. It's cool.
That's right. Well, plus that's worth something.
It lives alongside the Really Do Care. There you go. Put them in there together.
In perpetuity.
In perpetuity. Okay. Well, anyway, I want to thank you guys personally for shipping those to us. That was an awesome surprise. Like,
You're welcome.
I was pumped, like beyond pumped. I was like, what? You know, I literally had it sitting kind of, you know, on our spinner table. I kind of had it sitting there. I didn't like it there, but now it's in a place that like I'm proud of. I can't, when people walk in, it's going to be the focal point. I mean, I think whether it's on a coffee table, you know, your Conan Carbonite custom made glass table in your room, whatever, you know, this is a great way to display it. And you can get to it right away. Like, that's just magnetic. I can pull that cover off. I can look at the book.
In case of emergency, break glass, you know, but it's not even glass.
Yeah. It's not as sinister as it looks. Like, it's not like you shouldn't be reading it.
Yeah.
Not a black magic book or anything. It's fine.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Black magic. The Book of the Dead.
Yes. The camera's done. It's like the camera's lost its mind. It loves it so much. All right. So so guys, that's awesome. I like how every time we minimize, we're in a different position. It's great. We're just like
Johnny's in my kitchen.
We're the confused Brady bunch.
Well, hey, continued success to you guys. We're excited that people are now getting a new wave of excitement for ReadFive Designs and the book that you guys have put together. We just smile with pride knowing that all the work that you guys put in is paying off, and people are enjoying it and making money off of it, and
exponential,
and that the ripple effect is still continuing to go out, and that we get to say, hey, you know, we know those guys are good guys, you know, you should support them, and that's pretty fun for us too. So
we appreciate that.
Yeah, well, nothing but thanks and pride on our side of the screen here for what you guys are up to, and as always, you know, if there's anything we can do to support and help out, we're happy to do so. Go visit their webpage. Is that Jabba poster available for purchase now?
It will be, yes. We just because this fulfillment has been taking up a lot of our time. We've just sort of like delayed doing that because that'll be another thing that we have to do. So, but they will soon be available on the website.
Yeah,
awesome. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm excited about that one. Pretty cool poster that you guys got on the way too, as well as the book, 2nd edition. Man,
thanks to collector UK.com, right? Collectors UK
Display.
Thanks, Drew.
Yep. Thanks again, Drew, for another awesome product that we get to promote happily, not just because he's a good guy, but because we've got him too. So
we got him.
Yeah.
And guys, thanks for having us on the show. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome anytime.
Always a pleasure to see you guys.
We're happy to come back anytime.
All right, Andy.
You guys are welcome back anytime. Yeah.
Anytime. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, don't forget.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
These cases are nice, but don't forget to play with your toys.